Good morning, children. Today's demo lesson is for class 9th physics. It's basically consisting of three elements. One is the misconceptions created in your mind throughout the early years. Point two is removing the phobia from your brain about physics. And point three is on clarity in understanding. Children, let us talk about the misconceptions in our early life. There are so many things which we have gathered, which we have seen, which we have understood, starting from the early years. The moment the hand holding business of our parents went on, we were admitted in the school, the teachers entered to our life. There are so many things which you are coming prepared from your parents' understanding or point of view, and what you learned throughout the day in the school was not matching, not telling with each other. For example, a papa had told something about the basic things of how to walk. And the moment he came to the school, the class teacher or your activity teachers or the physical education teacher, whoever entered your life in day one, they started training you about how to walk after the assembly. Look at the confusion or the misconception started right from the early beginning of your education. Papa had told me to walk like this, but unfortunately my physical education teacher is telling to walk like this, or my mother had told me to walk casually, don't be afraid of anybody, wish everybody, smile with every situation, but my teacher is saying, my physical education teacher is saying, walk straight without disturbing others. See, I am not criticizing the system of education. I am not here to tell you about the difference in our home education and the school education. I'm just telling you, the moment you start learning the basic sciences, the moment you start learning about the basic physics or chemistry or biology, the entire things which you gathered in your brain from the early childhood will be coming. Sayingly, unsayingly, knowingly, unknowingly. See, the first thing first, the structure of atoms. I remember from my school days that structure of atom was taught in less than a period, less than 40 minutes of period. I am not saying the foundation of teachers how to complete the concepts of teaching about atoms. But what should be done? A traditional teacher who has to complete the syllabus, who is to oblige to the principal, who is to give you the exam oriented lessons for structure of atom. They enter into the classroom, they tell that look at children, I have drawn the diagram for the structure of atom, and look, there is one nucleus at the center of the atom which consists of protons and neutrons, and it is called as the nucleus, and around the nucleus the electrons are revolving around. The protons are positively charged, the electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral. Just note it. They will guide you, they will tell you that just note it. The protons are positively charged, the electrons are negatively charged, and neutrons are neutral in nature. That's all. Over. At best, they will tell you that number of protons are equal to number of electrons. That is why positive charges are equal to negative charges and the atoms are neutral. That is why they are not giving you shocks around when you touch the things. Over. Bell rings, teacher goes out, and things are over. You come back home, pondering about, and you open your book. And unfortunately, your parents have given in the day 1 of your class 9 study of atom or the structure of atom, the competitive books of names I will not tell you, the competitive books as suggested from various sources of national competitive houses, and you open unfortunately the pages of the structure of it. My God. You learn to know that the structure of atom is having so many stages of development, and finally the modern structure of atom or the quantum concepts is written there. Things are done. Your day is over. Your day is over. What you relate to your classroom situation where you see the atoms consist of this and what you see in the evening from the competitive sources, my God, you are unable to simply grasp anything about what is atom, and you start misbehaving. The entire, system of your parents, parenting, the schools, schooling, and the competition classes and their coaches start misbehaving. You become enraged, you become confused, and you become, dropped in somewhere where there is no rescue operation going on. My God, this is what is happening in our life. I am not talking about my child, I am not talking about you all, I am talking about the entire vicinity of the learning crowds where the things are happening. It's everyday phenomenon. Everyday phenomenon. And what we are doing here is we are becoming more stricter. Being the educationist, being the principal, being the parents, we are becoming stricter day by day, or thrusting something into your brain that you need to learn all these things. Whatever the teacher told is fine. Whatever the principal told you is fine. Whatever the the senior students told you about the structure of atom is fine. Whatever the peer discussions happened is fine. Whatever the competition classes happened is also fine. And you start asking yourself, how could it be fine, my dear? How could it be fine? I learned something from my class teacher, subject teacher, which was very precise, concise. NCERT's 2-3 lines with cramming way. He told these things, and suddenly the seniors, they tried to tell me something different, and the competitive teachers in the evening, they taught me something entirely different. The way of teaching the same concept of atoms, structure of atoms, in 3 different ways. How can I progress? How can I jump into class 10th where my concepts should be sound, such that my class 10 board should be, excellent in nature. Think and ponder. Think and ponder. I am not terrifying. I am not making you afraid of something which is happening in our life. And in 1 minute, I can summarize also that don't listen to your class teacher and listen to your competitive teachers. That will be marring your entire business. The reverse also I tell you, that listen to your class teacher and don't listen to your competitive teachers will also mar your business of understanding about physics or the concepts. So my dear, let me tell you exactly in my 30 or more than 30 years of experience of doing this business of physics teaching and school administration, I always try to tell you, you are the best judge of what you need to take in and what you need to give out, what you need to observe and what you need to discard. Take it yourself. You are in class 9. Now 9 means definitely 14 years plus. Your understanding, your capability of understanding, evaluating and analyzing has been developed. So match and mix and match the things. Don't get any misconceptions which are created either by your class teacher or subject teacher or the competitive teacher or by your parents in any time of your day. Ask yourself, ask it, what might be one atom? What might be one atom? You have not seen it. Neither your teachers, nor your competitive teachers. Nobody has seen or shown you what is the structure of atom. They have also seen from the books, the pictures, the downloaded things, the imbibed culture of their seniors, their teachers, their parents, and what they learned during their study period. And they told you, they trusted you, that what is structure of atom. Clear? Think of yourself. Every NCERT book you will find one basic thing, one page dedicated for you, the Gandhiji's Taslim. Ask why, what, how, where or when. Start asking yourself. Start pondering about the structure of the universe, not only the atom. Think of various phenomenon, various physical phenomenon which are happening in our day-to-day life. Think of it. Situations are not different in laboratories and the society. What is happening in our kitchen must be happening in the physics laboratory also. They are not excluded, secluded places to do the researches. Kitchen chemistry, kitchen physics or kitchen biology. I always tell my favorite words. Start learning from within. What you experience, what you have gathered about the structure of atom. Have you seen, do you know the basic difference between the elements and compounds? Have you seen the organic and inorganic compounds? Have you understood about the living and non-living things? Go, reach out, touch it, think, understand. Take one piece of paper. Take anything which is available around. Take your comb Look at your hands, look at your body structure, look at everything you could. And definitely, no teacher, either of your school or of your competitive classes or your parents, being the super, gurus of you for everything, are supreme in nature. They can't teach you unless you start learning from inside. They can't do anything. Like the horses can be taken right up to the brink of the river, but if they are unwilling to drink water, it's next to impossible. The same thing happens here. Same thing happens here, that if my children are unwilling to learn, they are not ready to learn, they are not exploring, they are not pondering about what is nature, what are natural things, what are energy or energy transformations which are happening in life, then teacher comes and teacher goes. Bell rings in and out. Physical education teachers will be driving you away from your school the moment the last bell rings. Over and out. The evening scenario will be more difficult business of entering into the competitive classes and coming out from the competitive classes. And still terribly upsetting is your, after coaching, having the bites of dinner with bombardment of questions from your parents, mother, sister, brother, parents, father, or whoever comes into even drawing room. आज बच्चा आपकी कोचिंग में गया था, सुना सो एंड सो कोचिंग में क्या हुआ, थोड़ा बताएंगे. एंड दे विल कॉल यू राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द गेस्ट. चलिए बेटा बता देना थोड़ा क्या हुआ आज, बहुत बच्चे गए थे, ऐसा ऐसा हुआ, ऐसा ऐसा हुआ, बता रहे थे हमको, थोड़ा बता दो अंकल को क्या हुआ, व्हाट हैपेंड इन योर coaching business. And you are becoming one demo class for everybody. Straight. My dear students, take it unto you that the moment you enter into the classroom, come prepared with your asking business of what, why, how, when, where, how the things are happening. Come prepared, come energetic, sit straight, have your body postures correct in such a way that the teacher will be thinking that my children whom I am interacting with today are entirely, new, entirely fresh, entirely energetic, and bubbling with, the energy of asking. Next day, the level of teaching of your teacher will be totally different. You have not told anything, neither you have criticized your teacher, but what happened? You transformed the life of your teacher indirectly by simply sitting alert. Not saying anything, no criticism, no botheration, but your alertness increased the level of alertness of your teacher, your subject teacher. Indirectly, he burned the midnight lamp and started preparing about teaching, combining in judicious way the NCERT books, the competitive books, and his own learning to share with you about what is structure of pattern. Okay? So, kindly take this as My lesson of today's demo class for class 9 is remove the misconceptions by removing it from within. Remove the phobia. Nobody can remove the phobia of yours. Remove the phobia by yourself and get the clarity in understanding of anything, not only physics. I should be very selfish if I am talking about only physics. Clarity in understanding in each and every aspect of your learning, right from class 9 to class 12, is utmost required to excel in competitive classes, where directly in class 12th, when you will be appearing your class 12th examination, you should have the concepts and confidence of appearing your board examination as well as the competitive examinations in the same year without losing one precious year or taking one gap year or taking time for preparation. I've seen children who prepared well from their side right from class 9, and directly after class 12 they were successful, not only successful, got the good rank in IIT physics entrance or any competitive examinations or Olympiads or anything which they came across, and successfully they were placed. Who is teaching you? Your teachers, your competitive teachers, your parents. I'm sorry to say. Nobody is teaching you. You yourself is going to teach you about what is your focus after class 12. I tell you, class 9th you enter and class 12th you go out from the school. It never means that these are merrymaking years. Either you knock in class 9 and you knock out in class 12. Situations would be you knocked in with a lot of difficulties and you knocked out to open up a golden gate and being placed in a very nice institution which was your dream or aspirations or desire. So being in class 9th, I would request you all foldingly. A teacher is not supposed to fold his hand in front of students, but it's not unworthy. It is worthy folding the hands in front of students to request them in the most polite mode of what I told, what I am trying to convince the society, what I am trying to convince my entire class 9 group sitting in front of me, or what I am trying to convince to my parents who are here to listen about what should they do dealing with their class 9 children or 13 plus or 14 plus or 15 plus children in their home. Thank you. Thank you for patiently listening to me. Thank you. Jai Chhattisgarh, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.